Have you ever looked at someone winning in life and business and wondered, what do they have that I don't have? Like, if you are honest, now some of you may not admit that, but if you're honest, you probably asked this question before. What do they have that I don't have? You see what they're doing. You see them having success. You see them winning. You probably have asked this before. What do they have that I don't have? Because most people feel stuck. Not because they don't know what to do. They feel stuck because they don't know the real traits that help people rise while others stay stuck. And I believe it is more than just like what they have physically. It's who they are, their traits, their character, who they are as a person, who they've become. A lot of times that is the difference maker. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the simple traits and they're probably they're simple, but that doesn't mean they're easy. These are the simple traits that help ordinary people create extraordinary success. And if you've ever wanted more money, more freedom, more success, more confidence in your life and in your business, this video is for you, because these are the exact characteristics that help people build a successful life and a successful business. And so I'm going to talk about 3 core characteristics that every entrepreneur needs to have. The first is courage. You have to have the courage to start. And this is so important because starting is a lot of people's problem. It's not necessarily that someone else has something that you don't have. It's a lot of times it just comes down to they started and you didn't. They did something and you didn't. And the reason why this is so, it seems so simple, but it's not that simple because people just don't ever start. And I'm not talking about just like reading about something or gathering all the information you need, or you might even buy some things. You might buy some supplies. But if you don't actually do the thing that you're trying to do, you never started. You just learned a lot of information. You did a lot of research. You kept getting ready to get ready, but you never actually really started in the activity of the thing that you're trying to do. You never actually started the business, right? You never actually tried to make a sale. You never actually produced a product for someone to buy. You never actually did any marketing. You haven't actually did any type of income producing activities. And so some people just don't ever take the first step. And the first step scares a lot of people. And so the point is, people who win, it's not that they're fearless, because they're just as scared as you are. They're afraid, they're scared, but what the difference is, they move even when they're scared. They moved in spite of being scared. They're scared, but they do it anyway. And the people who don't succeed, they let the fear just stop them completely, and they never do anything at all. Mel Robbins, she's a personal development, personal growth, type person, and she has this 5-second rule, right? But before she created this 5-second rule, she was stuck. She had no motivation. I think she actually went through, and she has a book. It's called The 5-Second Rule. And I've read the book. I had the audio book, and so I listened to it. I used to listen to it. And she didn't have any motivation. She didn't have no direction. I think she ended up losing her job or something like that, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me. Go read the book. It's called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Anyway, her life was not going anywhere. She had no motivation, no direction, she did not want to get out of bed. There were mornings that it took her hours to get out of bed. She didn't have any energy or any drive to get out of bed. And so one morning, I think she saw a rocket launch on TV, and she said to herself, I'm going to get up like that rocket. I'm going to count, they do the countdown for the rocket to take off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She saw that and she said, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the next morning she tried it and it worked. She got up. And so that tiny thing, and what it was basically is just something to help her to just, it's like she says, when I get to 1, I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna just do it. And she used that to get out of bed, and then she started using it for everything that she wanted to do. Like if she was afraid to do something or if she was procrastinating, she would do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she would do whatever it is that she was procrastinating about. And so this silly little thing of counting down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it changed her whole life. Like now she's well known. She's written books like the 5-second rule and other books. She's this personal development expert now. She's got books. She's got a business. She's got a lot of success. And, you know, it's not because she was so brave and courageous, but it was because she moved with, even though the fear was trying to talk her out of moving, she moved anyway. And she created just something that allowed her to move, you know. And so whatever you do, whatever you need to do to create like her, like a 5-second rule, like whatever you need to do to create something to make you move, do that. It's just something that you can do for yourself. It doesn't matter how silly it is if you need that. But it's all about just having the courage to do it anyway. And so the takeaway here is people who build something big start with just a little bit of courage. All right, the second characteristic that I want to talk about is curiosity. You got to have curiosity, and that curiosity is to learn, to get knowledge, to gain awareness of what you could do, to gain awareness of all the possibilities that could be available to you. And so the point is, like, entrepreneurs ask questions. They ask far more questions than they do just assuming things. Like, they ask questions. They're curious. They're curious about life. They're curious about business. They're curious about things. And so the curiosity to learn is a trait that will make you a successful entrepreneur. Staying curious, always asking questions, always saying, I wonder if I did this. I wonder if I did that. I wonder if I pushed this button. I wonder if people want this. I wonder what people don't like about this. I wonder what people's problem is with this particular thing. Or that, like, what are people worried about? What keeps people up at night? I wonder if. Like, they're just curious. Like, Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon because he loved selling books. He started it because he was curious. And he saw that the internet, at that time, he saw that the internet was growing by 2,300% year by year. And he asked the question that most people just don't care to ask. What can I sell online? Like, what can I do online? How much can I sell online? Like, what could be sold online? He just kept asking those questions. And now, obviously, Amazon sells everything. You can go on Amazon and get a kidney if you need it. But so just asking questions. It's not necessarily about skills, although you do need skills, but just start with asking questions. Get better at being curious. Ask questions. Be curious about how life works. Be curious about how things work. Be curious about how people work. And so the takeaway here is curiosity creates chances. If you have enough curiosity, you're gonna create your own chances. And so the more you learn, the more you earn. And so it's all about curiosity. All right, the third trait or the third characteristic of good entrepreneurs is consistency. It's consistency. And it's the consistency to continue when you want to quit, when you want to give up. Because success is not sexy. It's repetitive. It's all about staying with it, being consistent, showing up day after day after day after day. You show up. And a lot of people always ask, like, what is the thing? What is something that I can do to be successful? Well, consistency. I know it's not sexy. Nobody wants to hear it, but consistency. Oh, like, if you're consistent over a long enough time, you can accomplish a lot of things. The only thing that is going to stop you is time. But it depends on your goals. It depends on what you're trying to build. But over time, if you stay consistent, you can accomplish a lot of things. You can accomplish anything you want if you maintain consistency over time. And I think what hinders a lot of people is you want things to happen faster, and so you're not as consistent, because you have to be able to be consistent over a long enough period of time. And if you want things to happen overnight or faster than you think they should happen, then you're going to have a hard time with consistency. And so when you are consistent, consistency is just about putting your head down and say, this is what I'm going to do. No matter what, I'm going to show up. No matter what, I'm going to create the video. No matter what, I'm going to post on my Instagram. Or no matter what, I'm going to make a YouTube video. No matter what, I'm going to write a blog. No matter what, like, you have to have some consistency. And so John Maxwell, a leadership expert, he shares this story about a man chopping down a tree. And he says, if he hits the tree once a day, nothing happens. But if he hits the tree 5 times every day, that tree will fall. And I believe this, even if he hits the tree once a day, if he has a long enough time period, eventually it'll fall from once a day. But obviously, he says if he hits it 5 times a day, because that you're making an impact. And so he says if he hits it 5 times a day, eventually that tree is going to fall. I don't know how long it's going to take. Depends on how sharp your axe is. But at the end of the day, it's not even about the sharpest. Like, obviously, if your axe is sharp, the sharper your axe, the quicker you can get it done. But just 5 hits a day on a tree is not a lot. And so it's going to take consistency. But sometimes 5 chops is all you have. But you show up every day and you do it. And eventually that tree will fall. Not because you're so strong, but because you were steady. And so in leadership, in life, in business, the people who stay steady are the ones who win. And so the takeaway here is consistency beats talent when talent stops trying. Because you can be talented, but if you're not consistent, it's not going to matter. So there you have it. Those are the 3 characteristics of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who are successful. And so now that you know these 3 characteristics of getting started, staying curious, and then consistency. Just keep going, keep showing up. Let me ask you, which one do you want to grow in? Which one which one of these do you need the most growth in? Drop it in the comments, let me know. And if you want more steps like this to grow your money, your mindset, your mission, then hit the like button and subscribe. Let's build the future that you want, one simple step at a time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.